Happy drip marketing day. Oh, yes. Cat ears. How did I not notice her cat ears? They don't show it here. Right here. There's a Geovision right there. So she's a Geo character. Very fancy. We know Charlotte. We know she's Cryo. I don't know who this guy is. But he looks like if Razor was not raised by wolves, this would be what Razor looked like. And I don't know who this is, but she looks very similar to like the weird rabbit thing that introduces us in Fontaine. I wonder if she's related to them. If she's one of those half... Was it a Melusine? Half rabbit, half person. Sampo. It's Sampo. This dude looks like he saw Diluc's skin, Diluc's alternate costume, and said, you know what? I'm gonna do that, but even more chains and even more edgy. Oh, yeah. And I don't know who she is, but she's adorable. And this is through some tube. So that's going through some weird tube. My thought is, they showed like a little bit of the underground. I wonder if that guy is related to some sort of underground something, and this is like the high courts above ground, so he's the seedy underbelly leader or something. And then we go through here, we see these people who are obviously important in high society. Yeah, that looks like this dude's assistant. That looks like the Kujo-Sara to the Raiden, if you will. Aha, the Harbinger. Boom. I love that part. I love that so much. Where it's like they're putting on a magic show, but no. They were the illusion the whole time. I love that. That was, oh, so cool. Her little ex-pupils. I know people are going to go crazy after her. Arlecchino means Harlequin. Okay. I mean, this is a really bad shot, but it looks like it's a pyro vision if it's right there, because it's slightly different color in terms of red. Yeah, it looks like it's a pyro vision. It's really, really blurry, obviously, with all the motion blur and hard to tell. But it's a different color red than this. So if it is a vision on her back, then it's probably pyro. Snap. Thanos snap. I hope her eyes light up when she does something. Like if she uses her elemental burst, I hope her eyes light up like the way the Archon's hair, where they have like the colored parts in their hair light up. That would be great. So, this is 100% Focalor. This is the Hydro Archon because of her attitude and everything. In what Nahida said in like the last story quest is that the Hydro Archon likes to now sit in on all the courts and basically just sit there for entertainment purposes, passing judgment on people. The fact that she's kind of like a petulant child is kind of funny because she's also supposed to be the god of this nation. But as we'll see, I don't think she's really in control. I think this dude is more in control than she is. There's definitely something going on with him. He will definitely be a playable character, but he's going to be sus. And this is the original trailer I wanted to show. When we're going over the story prologue, there's a little bit of each thing here, and I think they show 5 stars in like every nation. So I think Lyney or Lynette, at least one of them is going to be a 5-star, I think. And I think they showed Ningguang here, yeah. And she was originally supposed to be a 5-star. They just pedaled back and made her a 4-star. Because they had too many on release and they didn't want too many 5-stars. Then they show Ayaka here. So there's Sino. So there's Lyney and Lynette. So that's why I think one of them is going to be a 5-star at least, because they've been showing 5-star characters throughout. It's also interesting that Dainsleif is leaving out a lot of context here. Like when he was talking about how Nahida didn't think she needed to do anything in Sumeru. It's not like she was just arrogant. It was because she didn't feel she was like good enough. So maybe there's something sussy going around with Dainsleif. Maybe he just doesn't know, or doesn't really care, or think the god should be even more responsible. I think Focalor seems like Fischl, but a god. He seems kind of immature. Dumb sleeve. Here we go. We've got 3 new characters they've drip marketed. So one of these is likely to be a 5-star, and then the other two are probably 4 stars, and these are probably going to be the new characters that come out in the 4.0 release on the new patch. So it looks like we're getting maybe 4-star. Like, this kind of gives me 4-star vibes. I don't feel like they would be 5-star, and then, I mean, but Lyney and Lynette give me 4-star and 5-star vibes too. She feels more 4-star because she seems more like a background character. Because he's more in control in the situations, seems like he's more of like the 5-star because he's the magician and she's the assistant. He's kind of the one being the ringleader, but it could very easily be this as the 5-star and maybe these two as 4 stars as well. It's really hard. Sometimes you could just get a vibe, and like 4-star vibe here, and also 4-star vibe here, and then also here, but I think one of them at least has to be a 5-star. Let's see what they have to say about them though. Did you see that? As the dove emerged from the hat, the corner of Freminet's mouth turned upward very slightly. Imagine how he'd react if we could find a way to make the whole flock of them fly out. After all, as his big brother, it's my duty to make him laugh. Lyney winked as he discussed with Lynette after rehearsal. Yearning of the unseen depths, renowned driver of the court of Fontaine. Diver? Huh. Cryo automaton. He's not real? He's a robot? He's not a real boy? Oh. Huh. And he's using the bell. Oh my god. He's actually using the bell. Wow. I mean, it looks nice on him. I would not take this as any indication that he is going to scale with HP, or that the bell is actually going to be good on him, because they put a bunch of weapons on characters in their profiles that they never use or ever want to use. So don't take this as like he's going to be an HP scaling cryo character. Be cool if he was, but nah, I don't think that's happening. They just did this because of the whole steampunk aesthetic, and it looks good with him. Let's take a look now at the rest of this. Alright. Diver. As the realm of Hydro, Fontaine's underwater vistas are positively breathtaking, but not everyone gets to enjoy this mysterious world beneath the waves. Even for those who have mastered the basics, diving can be full of peril, to say the least. Submarines. Among the ranks of able divers, Freminet? I think it's Freminet? Anyone know how to pronounce that and can phonetically tell me how I'm supposed to say it? Is renowned for his outstanding professionalism, exceptional ability to stay focused, as well as his abundant maritime knowledge. It's a shame that, as a classic lone wolf, he never accepts commissions from others. As the younger brother of Fontaine's famous magical duo Lyney and Lynette, Freminet prefers to stay out of the limelight. Other people's gazes, responses, and comments make him uncomfortable and interrupt the rhythm of his breathing. He prefers instead to slip away and bask in the weightlessness of the ocean, pouring his heart out to a maritime flower. He looks indifferent, but it's in fact that his passion never comes back up for air. Interesting. And considering that he's a younger brother to Lyney, feels like Lyney's gonna be the 5-star then. Fontaine hype! R27 Bell waiting for him. You're not allowed to use this character on commissions. Imagine! That would be hilarious. I could see them doing something like Raiden, where it's like if you try to cook with Raiden, you can't. It's like you can't send him out on expeditions. So here's Lyney. Whoops. I guess there's not more to read here. We can check on this later. Sometimes it distracts with a feint. Others, it pretends to slip up and reveal a flaw. When things get serious, sleight of hand dazzles more than the magic itself. Can you guess what that is? He's obviously Pyro, from all the fire background stuff. And he's got a little card there, and like a garter belt for some reason. And his fancy hat. Oh no. He's got the teardrop too. Oh geez, as soon as I saw the purple teardrop, my mind went to Hisoka. Do you think his vision will give him the power of both rubber and gum? Oh no, oh no. So yeah, interesting. Spectacle of Phantasmagoria. Celebrate a magician of the court of Fontaine, Pyro, Felis Fuscus. I don't know Latin. I don't know what that means. The whales are migrating back for Fontaine. And then we've got his assistant, Lynette. That's already the 5th time this month. Haven't you learned not to mess with Lynette? Words muttered by Freminet to a vacuum cleaner, overheard by Lyney as he left his room dead of night. Elegance and shadows. Multifunction magic assistant. I want her to be like a ninja. I want her to like her kit to actually be illusions. And make like an illusory shadow clone copy of herself. That seems like it would be very cool. Especially like Animo, like wind clone. Animo Felis Alba. Is Felis cat like feline? Alba is dawn in Spanish, so is this like dawn cat? Kazeda? Shadow clone. You're probably close. Huh. Do. Drago something in Fuscus means I am your enemy. Huh. Sends useful for wonder if she shields. Animo shielder? I would love that. If she's an Animo shielder that scales off EM. The dream! The dream! It's for white. Ah, white cat. White cat? Okay. And that's Latin for white. So then this is probably related to another color as well. Fuscus. The only color I could think of that is similar would be like fuchsia. So maybe like purple cats, purpley cat, fuchsia cat. I mean, I didn't even realize she was a cat. I was like, oh, cat ears. And they're like, oh, she has a tail too. She is an actual cat girl. Alright, let's see what they say more about Lynette here. In direct contrast to her older brother, who refers to himself as the greatest magician in all of Teyvat, Lynette might possibly be the lowest profile magician's assistant in the land. Yeah, very big 4-star vibes. And considering that this guy is also, like, they said, where is it? They said he's an automaton, right? Where is he? Yeah, automaton. That means he's a robot puppet. There is part of me that thinks that she might be an automaton as well. Does it say? It doesn't. She seems so devoid of like emotion, and she seems so cold, and her eyes look like they're not looking at anything. Part of me thinks she might be a puppet too. It seems like she might just be a really good actor. Who knows? Fuscus black brown. Ah, okay. Interesting. Maybe his real magic is making puppets and making automata. Spectacle and Phantasmagoria, celebrated magician of the court of Fontaine, with the possible exception of the trials that held at the Opera Eclipse. Epiclise? Opera Epiclise? Lyney and Lynette's magic show is without a doubt the best live performance in the court of Fontaine. There's definitely going to be a quest where we help one or both of them with like their magic show. And then we set everything up and there's a bunch of things that go wrong and there's someone who's trying to sabotage the show, and then at the end we get to watch as they do like a spectacle, and there's going to be a cool cutscene where they do a bunch of magic, and we're going to be there with Paimon clapping. That is 100% happening. What is this? Summer Paradise Events preview. Oh, we've gone over this. Yeah, we've seen this. Version 3.8. Yeah, we've done this too. So this is most of the drip marketing. Very interesting. Of all these characters, I am most interested in this guy. I want to see what he is up to, being like a diver and have this like dive cage with like the valves and everything. And Cryo Claymore could be interesting. And then I'm also very curious as to what she's going to do. I'm very, very curious as to what her abilities are going to be. I love Animo characters, and I hope she's a good one. Very nice. Lots of dripping. Drip, 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 drip marketing today.